Hey, Roman Trusser here with Mission Forge, and in today's video, guys, we're going to be making a ribbon burner. Now, you'll notice I'm not wearing my typical shirts. This is a regular shirt here, and that's because when I filmed this back in May, it's July as of this filming now, I had to get a new phone and all that stuff, and not all the videos transferred over or went to the cloud, so I'm missing a lot of videos. So it's originally supposed to be an entire building of forge, but all I have is really, it's most of my ribbon burner. So you're gonna see how I make a ribbon burner, but let me break down to you the important parts that are missing that will not be in this video. First thing is, you're gonna notice that I'm welding everything up. I didn't buy a square tube, it was too expensive. It was like $70 for like 3 feet of it. I just got a 3-inch flat bar, and it was about 3 feet or 4 feet long, and I cut it up into sections and welded them together. So the total length is 3 inches by 3 inches by 12 inches. This is the length of the ribbon burner. You'll notice I didn't weld, you see weld on the actual, fitting on the top. That's no big deal. Also, you're going to notice my father-in-law makes a guest appearance, and he helps me assemble the actual frame to cast it, which thank you, Paul, for coming down and helping with that. I actually had a good time. You'll see we're just kind of going back and forth and teasing each other. That's kind of just what we do. But you're not going to see us put it together. It was just some 1x2s, I think we used, or 1x4s, I can't remember, and we used like 1 1/4 inch screws to put it all together. Also, when I cast the refractory, all right, I used a little bit more than 3 1/4, it was about 3 1/4 cups of water for 10 pounds of Mizzou refractory, because that's what I used. So it's about 3 1/4 cups of water to 10 pounds of Mizzou refractory. So that you want the slurry when you mix it up to be about the consistency of a milkshake. Okay, so you may need to feel it out and see what it is, but that's about what you need, so it's easy to dump into and turn it into a casting. Okay, so those are the important parts that you're missing. And then notice, lastly, you're going to see that I'm testing it in the forge and the fire up procedure. You guys kind of miss because I'm missing a lot of videos. So that, guys, let's go ahead. Let's get into today's video. Actually, that came out way better than the inside welds. Impressed with that one. You see, I got it welded, 3 sides welded out right now. It's not the world's greatest weld job because I'm not a welder, but it should hopefully do the trick. Now, what I went ahead and is I found the exact center of this block, of this tube I'm making here, and I drilled a pilot hole through it, so that way when I go get the bit for this thing here, it will already be centered, and all I gotta do is drill through that. So right now what I'm working on is I'm working on the baffle that goes inside the box here. So once this hole's drilled out, you take this baffle here, and then you will, it'll be bent slightly, so about 15 to 20 degree angle, and it's gonna have we're gonna put a bunch of holes in this. I made this 10.5 inches long, so because what I'm gonna do is when I go to weld this here, I'm not gonna put any holes in the dead smack middle of this here. Maybe, I don't know, but it's about 10.5 inches long, so that way it will go across most of the length of the burner tube here, so hopefully it will mix up the air and fuel properly and all that stuff. So we're gonna put a bunch of holes in here. The hole sizes I'm going to be using is, I don't know where my bit went to. Should be right around 15/64. It's the bit size holes we're gonna do. I'm just gonna drill a bunch of holes in here using the drill press, and then once that's done, then I'll find the center mark, which I can do now, I guess. And then I'm going to put a very slight bend to the point where I don't need to heat up the forge to do this. All I got to do is clamp it on my vise, press down. Doesn't need to be an exact number of 20 degrees or something like that. Then once that's bent, then I'm done for the day until I get this hole cut. Once I get that hole cut, then I will take this baffle, slide it inside, and then tack weld it to a couple of places. And then I will weld up the top portion here and then weld in the sides. Now, we got a hole. There's a hole. Oh, there's a hole. Alright, now that I got the hole cut, what I'm going to do now is take this bar here, which it was just a length, about 10-inch length of 3/16 steel, 2-inch wide plating. I drilled a bunch of holes in it and then I bent it slightly. What we do now is I cleaned this off a little bit with acetone to get the grease and oil off from the cutting. Same thing with the hole inside here, and I'm going to tack weld right where it's bent at to, right in the middle of the hole here. I'm going to weld it up so that way it'll hold it in place and act like a buffer to mix the air and stuff up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so I cleaned this up with the angle grinder back here, so when we go to weld it in there as best as we can, it will adhere to it. And I used acetone to kind of get all the oils and grease off as much as possible. As long as it holds, I'm happy. But I gotta do the other side now.
I want to grab a crayon, see if this is right.
Yeah, let's do that.
Make sure we got a big enough bit on it.
That's what I mean. I don't need it to be smash it in there. It's fine. So
You want to take the paper off those?
no, leave the paper
Take
on.
the paper right out?
Yep.
Perfect.
Leave
Actually,
the,
it's probably better if you do have to push them in a little bit. Then they won't move. With the paper on, it only allows them to go in that far.
That's okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
So maybe you might want to peel a little bit of paper off, that way you can push it down in farther. But that's only, I mean, you got about twice that to go. Same depth every time.
every time, like clockwork.
Nothing like consistency.
I don't know what that means. Sounds like a big word you're making up.
Maybe it is.
had to step outside. I have no signal. Is Leslie there still?
Getting these crayons in is a little bit time consuming. The holes are actually a hair too small, so luckily these are just crayons, and all you gotta do is kind of press them in a little bit, and I twist them to kind of thread them in a little, just enough to hold them in place. We drilled the holes about 1/2 inch down, but we're definitely not using a 1/2 inch. We're going about 1/4 of an inch down. Hopefully that'll be enough. What I need to do is I mark the line where it needs to go. It's supposed to go in about 3/4 of an inch. Of course, not that I can see that. Let's measure from this point down 3/4 of an inch. Real quick. Huh? It's a little, yeah. It's about an inch up. So yeah. So I'm gonna need to get my rubber mallet, tap it in. Really? That's pretty good.
Actually, you're trying to get the air pockets out of it. You want to tap it.
I haven't tapped it.
Now wrap it, not lightly. Feel like you mean it, goddammit. Pretty good.
Big difference.
This side's a little higher.
Maybe. That should make a big difference, I would think.
Get a couple taps of it. Oh, my fingers.
Put your finger there. I need to know how far down to go. Here? I can't tell when you're not putting your finger there.
Look at that.
Good. Now I gotta let it set for 3 days before I can take the whole casing off. So, voila.
How's that supposed to bond with the cement?
But this, it won't bond with it because of that lip. It's the cement will hold on to it. So if that cracks or breaks, I can just chip all the shit off again and reuse this portion. So, but otherwise,
But when you take it all apart, that should be one unit.
there'll be one whole thing now. So it shouldn't fall off or anything like that. So
Good luck getting the cramp out. Just off of Mason Dip.
I got a whole bunch of them.
You're gonna need it. With the tip.
Everybody has to drill
As
through.
soon as you drop that down to their 4 inch.
No, I know. Okay, so we're back. So you saw some of the video. My father-in-law helped, so you noticed the mood and change of the video changed from my normal types where I'm talking, explaining things. This was more just doing. This is a project you kind of want to help a little bit, so he's not around anymore, so I can talk better or more, I guess. So as you saw, I got the coupling here welded on top of the ribbon burner. Went and casted it. Now, I'll put a description in the video and something you probably already saw. How much water I used per the mix. I used 10 pounds of Mizzou
refractory, and that is roughly just over 1.5 cups per 5 pounds. So we're just over 3 cups. It's probably about 3.25 cups of water to mix it to get the right kind of slurry, so that way I can cast this. So that's in case you guys were wondering, because I could not find that information. So it was more trial and error throughout the whole thing. So now I'm going to start taking the shell up here off, and then I got to let the burner dry more. So it's been in here now for 3 days. I'm going to take this off, and then I'm going to let it sit for another day or two, and then I'll probably put it in the oven for about 400 degrees, a couple hours, and then that should be ready to go. So, and then we can drill the crayons out and all that stuff. So let's get things this apart. Fancy. It's impressive so far. Good thing I used the WD-40. I learned that from John Norwood, because that will help this kind of come apart. So it seems to be doing just that, coming apart nice and easy. Trying to be gentle enough not to break too much off here. Woo! There it goes. This is what the bottom looks like. So far so good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it sit here and dry it a few more days. And then I'll put it in the oven. So there's that. I'm gonna set this on like my anvil or something where it's sturdier.
The ribbon burner is complete. Now this video originally was supposed to be for the entire forge, but like I said, I've missed most of the videos. Must not have transferred over or went to the cloud or whatever it was. I don't know what happened. So you got to see at least the burner portion. But with that, guys, if you found this video helpful, entertaining, or anything like that, go ahead and hit that like button. Also, got any comments or suggestions, leave them down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and to click the bell for notifications. Also, I want to again thank my father-in-law, Paul, for helping me out again. With that, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.